In today's video, I am going to help you to see your value. Keep watching, we'll go through the steps and some learnings along the way. As we go through life, we can start to see other people's values, perhaps a lot more than we can see our own. We see the successes that they're having. We can see them starting to give talks. They're organising events. They're at retreats. And they are so confident. They seem to excel at everything that they do. They're winning awards. And now that we have social media, we can see everything that they're doing. And then you start to look at yourself and think, well, what value have I got as a quiet, confident female? So this video is going to help you to find and recognise and appreciate the people who see your value. I've got a lovely story to tell you of, now I think it was back in the Victorian times. It was something that was popular back then from people who had low income. So again, it can be difficult because you're now because of social media. Due to social media, we can start to make worldwide comparisons. We're seeing people who have the most elaborate weddings. They're living in the most incredible properties filled with the most exquisite furnishings, and it can make you feel like everyone seems to be millionaires and billionaires. What if that's not your story? Well, going back to my story, there was a lovely couple whose first child was a girl. And it was traditional back then, when you give birth to a girl, you plant a tree. You plant a pine tree. and you watch that pine tree grow. You tend to it, you nurture it, you recognise the value in it. Even though everybody around you sees you doing all this work, and you can perhaps seem to be focusing in their eyes too much attention on these pine trees. Why aren't you in a big corporate job? You should be executive by now. You should be driving the biggest, poshest car. And you can start to become embarrassed because your family setup is not like what we're seeing now on social media, on Netflix, on wherever it is we consume. An insight into people's lives. So this particular young lady, she starts to help her father as he's planting and watering and growing, and eventually her time comes. She actually meets the love of her life and is ready to get married at the age of 21. And her father says, I'd like you to wait another 4 years. You can imagine, she's met the love of her life. Wait 4 years. He might not wait for me. He might lose it to somebody else who's ready to give him everything he wants now. And this is when the power of patience comes in. And recognising your value, because your father can see your value. He knows the potential you've got. He knows that you are absolutely valued. In fact, you have the most powerful kind of confidence, and it radiates without being in the spotlight. Rather than being upset by her father's decision, the daughter uses her time wisely, going on wholesome dates, spending time with her friends, educating herself, and delving into culture, keeping fit and healthy, and being aware of her nutrition. And spending time with her friends and her family. Learning new hobbies and developing her skills. And studying. So in this time period, she developed all her core skills before her marriage. If you'd like to develop your core skills, I'll leave a link down below how we can do that together. Her father tells her to leave everything to him And she thought, well, we'll never have anything. My father hasn't got a big corporate job. How is this going to work? But there are skills and crafts that seem to be very old-fashioned now, outdated. Her father was a joiner, a carpenter, and this is a place that she was not allowed to enter. This was her father's private domain. He was a very quiet, confident father. So as the years go by, those 5 years finally pass. And your confidence comes from your grace and determination. And over the years, your family, your parents, your father has helped you recognize your worth and is helping you to unlock your potential as a quiet, confident female. It's time for your wedding day. You will be fully equipped to be a capable wife. When her father planted those trees, he planted 6 trees. From the time she was born, she's now 25, they're 25 years old. And those trees were ready to be cut down, and her father presented his gift. Her mother and father presented the gift and led them to their gift. And to their amazement, her father, with those 6 pine trees, was able to build her a house, furnish it with the pine trees that had grown on their land, those 6 pine trees that had grown on their land for 25 years, the length of her life. Can you imagine how beautiful all that furnishing would be? Her father had built it with his own hands, time, energy. The table that they were now dining at, her wedding breakfast, was her father made. The chairs that they sat at, as they read their vows, her father made. The food that they were enjoying was made from produce on the land that she grew up on. And the food with her mother and the community of friends all came together. This incredible family, their daughter, and the community spirit. How does this quiet confidence come about? That comes not from your possessions or a pretty designer dress, but from the security of your self-reliance and the joy of creating things with your own hands. My course will empower you to do just that. You'll develop core skills, cultivate a mindful approach to life through etiquette, fostering a good sense of community and investing in yourself. In your personal life and growing as a quiet, confident lady. In your professional life. Planning for your future. Looking after your loved ones. And supporting your community.